Hi, this is Misha. One of my first videos, really the first day I was doing videos for this channel looking at the Eagle Moss ships, I did one on the Sector 001 fleet, the Starfleet new ships for first contact. We had 4 new ships in support roles. And of course the big ol' Enterprise herself, but we'll get into that later. It's one of my first videos, and they were kind of mislaying one of the ships and everything. It definitely wasn't my best, so I thought I would revisit these individually. Why not? They don't cost you anything, it's a bit of time. And first off, thought we would check out the Steamrunner class. Obviously, from Eagle Moss model. There are probably a few other Steamrunner models out there commercially available, but not many. And I really like this. It's really when Eagle Moss started doing kind of known but more obscure ships like these Sector 001 fleet ships that I got interested in them. When they were just doing the original Enterprises and stuff, it was neat, but I had those as kids, and yeah. But anywho, the Steamrunner. This is one of the older, newer ships. Doesn't seem to be the cuttingest edge vessel by 2373 during the battle, but it's definitely of the newer generation. It is classified as a frigate. We are about 360 to 375 meters long, depending on who you ask. But we have sorry folks, jump cut. Cat related thing there. Anyway, back to the Steamrunner here. Like I said, it's about 360 to 375 meters long, depending on who you ask. We have a deck count of, at least some sources claim, 18. We have a crew of 200, which seems a little small, but considering how compact this is, okay. I can buy that. Max warp of about 9.6 with a cruise of warp 6, so not the fastest, but, you know, respectable enough. It's said that it has 2 photon torpedo launchers, pretty standard, but that they have larger than average magazine capacities of 250 torpedoes each, so 500 total, or at least a maximum, which exceeds what a Galaxy would have, so it's got some torpedoes going on. It also has ample shuttle bays. This frigate was introduced as kind of a border security, kind of a border patrol, interdiction, maybe a law enforcement craft. So not exactly a deep space explorer, more of a workaday vessel, patrol ship. Also, it looks like it could have been used for passenger transport, and then as we get into the Dominion War, very most likely a troop transport or shuttle carrier. So this is a very good but utilitarian craft. Sturdy comes to mind, and that definitely seems, in the appearance, it's very interesting. I like the look of this ship a lot. I like how simple, kind of simple and basic it is. It looks like it'd just be a sturdy, dependable ship. Maybe not the fastest or the best well-armed, but kind of a torpedo cruiser. At least 6 of these were at the Battle of Sector 001 against the Borg in 2374, so a good number, meaning it had probably been in production a few years. One source claimed these were put into service in 2369. That seems a little late to me, looking at the design and kind of how it's set up with the kind of traditional deflector. Hopefully I'm getting the deflector in the camera. And kind of the transitional saucer from the old style to the new. I'm going to say maybe a little bit older. It doesn't matter. It's all fictitious anyway. But I really like this. It's really flat, interesting. Essentially we've got, you know, everything up here with shuttle bays in the back. The engine's sticking out. It's interesting that the Bussard collectors are not exactly directly attached to the nacelles. There's actually this pylon in between. And then we go back here, and then we have our deflector way in the back. I'd like to think the warp engine's probably not back there, because I could understand, you know, for maintenance for the deflector, they could get people back there, but how would you get people there easily? I mean, I guess if you did, you'd have to have kind of a shaft running, a turbo shaft running under the warp nacelles. So I'm going to say this back section probably wasn't continuously inhabited, meaning engineering was probably located on the main hull. How's that sound to you guys? Seems like it would be plausible to me. When the original model was made for First Contact, it was a CGI, relatively low poly by today's standards. After that film, it was given to the Deep Space Nine crew, where it appeared in several episodes in season 6 and 7. And just kind of added to the fleet of next generation ships following the galaxies. You know, we've done videos here on all the galaxy kit bashes and variants and that kind of lineage. Well, this is what came after, and probably one of the earlier ones. And I think it's neat that this isn't, you know, ever represented as the best ship. This is just a good, dependable ship to fill up the fleet. Probably a good replacement for something like a Miranda. I kind of think of it as a Miranda type ship, where we've seen Mirandas used from science to fighting to just being a cargo freighter. This seems like that could do much the same thing. So to me, the Steamrunner is kind of the modernized Miranda. And it seems like they are going to be producing these in large numbers. Yada yada. And so that's about all I could dig up or know about this ship. As far as the Eagle Moss model, I really like it. It's big. It's one of their biggest Starfleet ships. It's got a good feel to it. It's got a lot of metal too. The bottom of the saucer is plastic. The top is metal, and actually more of this in the back is metal than you'd think as well. It really reminds me of the die-cast cars I had as a kid, where the bottom of the car would be plastic, but then the top would be all metal. So I like it for being solid feeling. So yeah, the Steamrunner. This is the USS Appalachia, named after the Appalachian Mountains. A lot of other ships were named after mountains are regions on Earth. The USS Hiroshima is another Steamrunner class that comes to mind right ahead. And again, these were just seen in a lot of the Deep Space Nine battles. And again, I think Eagle Moss did a very nice job with this here model. So this become a regular section where I try to put something back on the stand single, left-handed, and blind. Why not? This one fits onto its stand a little tight, so yeah, I think I got it. Woo! First attempt. I feel like I did something wrong because it went too easy. Alrighty, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. If you could, like, share, subscribe. All the usual stuff YouTubers ask you to do. And also, look for the rest of the fleet. We're going to kind of give every ship here a day in the sun, and then eventually get to the big girl herself. This is Misha. I will catch you next time.